Okay.
Get nervous, Greg.
Okay, we're ready. Go for it.
Okay, so it's going to be the blood flow through the kidneys, and so while I go through it, we're going to be talking about like what's in the blood and why and what's happening. Can everybody see? Okay. So your blood is going to go from your heart, going to curve around your heart, which is the aortic arch, going to go down into your abdominal cavity, so abdominal aorta. Your abdominal aorta is going to branch off into your renal artery. Okay, that artery is going to branch. Every time it branches, it's called a new name. So this would be my segmental arteries. Okay, they're going to branch off and go my intralobar. My intralobar arteries are going to arc around these pyramids, and when they arc, they're going to be called your arcuate arteries. These arcuate arteries are going to spike off into the cortex right here. Do you see that? And that's going to be considered my cortical radiate arteries. Okay, so now it's getting kind of small, so let's switch over here. So now we're going to talk about why this is happening. So this blood is oxygenated. It has all the nutrients in it, but also has all the waste. So it's been sent to the kidney to be filtered for a reason. So this is where filtration will happen. So just like on here, this would be my intralobar artery, my arcuate artery, cortical radiate artery. My cortical radiate is going to branch off to my efferent arteriole. Okay, that's going to go into my glomerulus. It's going to filter the blood and extract everything out except for red blood cells, white blood cells, large proteins, but all nutrients, all waste, everything is out. But that doesn't mean that we don't need those nutrients. So keep that in mind. So this filtrate is going to go into the proximal convoluted tubule, right? So we'll talk about that in a second. But from the blood flow, so from the glomerulus out, it's going to travel out through my efferent arteriole with an E. So this would be my afferent, this would be my efferent, efferent. Okay, so here's what I want to talk about. So here's my paratubular capillary bed. These capillary beds are going to surround my proximal and distal convoluted tubules. Why are they going to do that? Because my proximal convoluted tubule is going to deal with tubular reabsorption. So the filtrate that was filtered out here is going to go into here. So all of my glucose, all of my nutrients that I need to reabsorb is going to happen in this paratubular capillary bed, because it's going to take the nutrients from the proximal convoluted tubule, dump them into this tissue, and be reabsorbed in this paratubular capillary bed. And the same goes for the distal convoluted tubule, but in this case, this would be tubular secretions. So anything that was not filtered out in the glomerulus and that is still running through the capillary bed, so like carbon dioxide, not so much carbon dioxide, but hydrogen, molecules, urea, ammonium, any type of those waste products, that would be secreted from here into the distal convoluted tubule and then go into the collecting ducts, okay? Which would be that. So that's paratubular capillary bed. Okay, the same type of capillary bed that's located in the medulla is your vas. I always forget the name of this thing. Vas recta, and I knew that. Vas recta. Okay, so the function of this thing. So it's going to surround my juxtamedullary nephrons and my juxtamedullary nephrons and my collecting ducts. If you think about the function of those, the filtrate that's in that is going to be trying to be concentrated with just urine. So all of the sodium that was pumped out in this loop of Henle, set up the concentration gradient, is going to get out all of the water that's in these loops of Henle and the collecting duct. So my vas recta is going to absorb the water that's being secreted from these two tubes. Okay?
Yeah.
So now that we have the nutrients back into the blood, water back into the blood, we're ready to go back to the heart to be pumped out. So my paratubular capillary bed and my vas recta, from the paratubular capillary bed, it's going to go into my cortical radiate veins go into my arcuate veins. Come over here. Okay, so now where my arcuate veins going to go to my interlobar veins, then my renal veins, so no segmental, renal. So interlobar is in the columns, the renal veins is near my calyxes. Or, yeah, I think it's calyxes. It's not calyxi, it's calyxes. Anyways, that's not important. So then it's going to go into my inferior vena cava, and then it'd be going up to my right atrium, then the whole cycle continues.
Thank you.